For this project, I'm using a size J. It is a 6mm crochet hook. And then I'm just using regular Red Heart Super Staver yarn. It's a 4-ply worsted weight acrylic. But any 4-ply yarn that you have will work just fine. Okay, I'm going to start off. This one is highly customizable. I'm starting off with a chain of 50. And you could definitely do as big or as small as you want, because whatever number of chains you choose, it's not going to affect the outcome of the bag. But this right here is actually going to be the opening of the bag. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook it together, and that's going to be the top of the bag. So if you want a bigger or small one, it's completely up to you. But if you want to do it like me, I started with a chain of 50. And now what you want to do without twisting your chain, so just go ahead and follow it down like this. That's what I do. Slip stitch in the very last stitch, so you form a big ring. And then you'll have the opening top part of your bag. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 to start. Now we're going to go along and we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. And you want to try to make sure that you don't twist your chain. So if you can see, I'll give you a little tip on not twisting your chain. Just try to consistently go in the same side of the chain. So like I have the front of the chain, I'm going to consistently all the way around do a single crochet in the front of the chain. And just making sure that my chain never twists to where I start going in the back. Because then when you get all the way around and back to the beginning, it'll be kind of cruddy. You have to take it all out again. But just go all the way around, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get back to the beginning. When you get back around after that first row of single crochet stitches, go ahead and slip stitch into your beginning, chain 1 stitch, and that will close that round off. Now you want to do a chain 3 to start the next round off. And now you want to go back into that same stitch that you just slip stitched into and do 2 double crochets, all in that same stitch. Like that. So counting that chain 3 that we did, that's counting as a double. We have a total of 3 double crochets in that very first stitch. So now you want to work all the way around, putting 3 double crochets in each one of the stitches. There's 3 in that one, and then 3 in the next. Three in the next. So you just want to repeat this pattern of 3 double crochets in every single stitch all the way around until you get back to the beginning. Get back around after doing 3 double crochets in every stitch. And now what I want to do is, this is how I'm going to end every round from now on. You want to slip stitch into the top of your beginning chain 3. And that will close the round out. And then to start the next, we're going to start all the next rounds the same way. You chain 3. And I'm just going to work around, putting 1 double crochet in each stitch. Just like this. And I'm going to do that all the way around, 1 in each stitch, until I get back to the beginning. and then I'll just slip stitch into my beginning chain 3 and close that round off. Now I'm going to be working rounds of just 1 double crochet in each stitch for a few rounds. So, and I'm not sure how many total I'm going to do yet, because I just do it until it looks good to me. So I'm just going to keep going, doing these rounds of 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'll let you know here in a few seconds how many total rounds I do. Okay, I made it back around here, and I went ahead and did 5 rows. Here's a row where I did 3 double crochets in each stitch, and then I did 5 more rows of just 1 double crochet in each stitch. And now I'm going to do a row of decreases. So I'm going to start gathering it up a little bit at the bottom. So after you slip stitch there, go ahead and start with a chain of 3, like that. Now I'm going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So counting that chain 3, I have 5 double crochets in a row. So now I want to do a double crochet decrease over these next stitches. So I'll just yarn over and go into the next stitch and drop a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on my hook. And now you need to yarn over again and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go through all 3. So that is a double crochet decrease. It took these 2 stitches that we went into and it made them into 1. So now you want to do 5 more double crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then double crochet decrease over the next 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, and yarn over and go through all 3. That's a double crochet decrease. And now we're going to do 1 double crochet again in each of the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5. Decrease over these next 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go through all 3. And now we want to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and that's going to be the pattern. 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and then a double crochet decrease, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next 5, and then a double crochet decrease. And you just want to continue that all the way back to the beginning. I'm coming into the end here after that row of decreases, and I just did a decrease, and then I have 1 stitch left. It's whatever you have is fine. Just in case you made yours bigger, just finish it out. It doesn't have to end in a decrease or anything. And go ahead and slip stitch into the chain 3. Now we want to chain 3 again. This is our first double crochet. And now we want to do 4 double crochets and then a decrease. So this is going to be our first one. That's 2, 3, 4, and now we want to do a decrease. That. 4 more doubles. and then a decrease. And that's going to be our pattern now. 4 double crochets and then a double crochet decrease all the way back to the beginning. Coming around to the end again, and at the end here I just did 3 double crochets and I'll have 2 stitches left. If I do 4, I'll only have 1 stitch left, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a decrease over these last 2 stitches. But you can just finish yours out if you want. I'm just going to end it in a decrease like that, and then I'm going to slip stitch into my first one, chain 3. This time around I'm going to do 3 double crochets in between each decrease. So there's 3, and I'm going to do a decrease. Like that, and then 3 doubles again, 2, 3, and then a decrease, and that's going to be the pattern this time around. 3 double crochets and then a double crochet decrease all the way back around to the beginning. Coming to the end of this row, and I want to go ahead and, even if the count isn't right, I want to make my last stitch a decrease. So like for me, I had a decrease and then I have 2 stitches, but I want to go ahead and make these last 2 a decrease. So whatever your stitch count is, if you did it different than me, just make sure your last stitch is a decrease stitch like that, and then slip stitch into the first, chain 3, chain 3 again. Now this time around is going to be 2 double crochets in between each decrease. So there's, counting that chain 3, sorry my yarn's all tangled up here. Okay, counting that chain 3, that's 2 double crochets. So the next stitch we want to make a decrease, that, and then 2 double crochets in a row, and then a decrease, two double crochets in a row, and then a decrease. So you just want to repeat this pattern all the way back around, back to the beginning. Okay, I made it back around again. After that row of decreases, my last stitch was a decrease stitch. Slip stitch into my first, chain 3. Now I'm going to chain 3 again, and now this time it's going to be a double crochet, and then the next stitch will be a double crochet decrease, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. Oh, just took it all out. And then it'll be a double crochet decrease in the next. Double crochet in the next, and then double crochet decrease. So now it's 1 double crochet in between each of the double crochet decreases, and you want to do that all the way back around to the beginning. Coming back around again, making sure my last stitch was a decrease, and that actually made me have 2 decreases in a row, but that's fine, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So go ahead and slip stitch to close that round off. Now this time around, chain 3, and now we're going to do a decrease in every stitch now. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm just going to go in the next stitch and decrease, yarn over, decrease again in every stitch. Yarn over, decrease, and then decrease over the next ones. So I'm just decreasing, and I'm not putting any double crochets in between. Just like that. And I just want to keep doing this all the way around. We're going to do this until the bottom gets closed up now. So I'm going to do this all the way back around. I'm coming around after I just did decrease in every stitch, and I'm back to where I started. Here's my chain 3. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into it. Like that. I'm not going to chain 3 again this time. Now I'm just going to work around and around doing decreases in every stitch until I get my circle kind of closed up. So I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go to the next, drop a loop, first 2, and then go through all 3. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Go through all 3. Make sure you're doing it kind of tight, pulling your stitches pretty tight, that way it starts to close up on you. Just keep working your way around. See, my hole is getting smaller. Just going to keep doing these and double crochet decreases until I can't do anymore. Make sure your pot not going back into the same stitch that you already decreased, because it starts to pull and it kind of looks like there's not a stitch there, but there is. Make sure you go over into the next one. The hole's getting smaller. Keep doing it. Oh, sorry about that. I keep hitting my camera stand. About getting where I can stop here. You just do it till you feel like you can't really do anymore. You probably have a little bit of a hole left. Like this. Here we go. And I think I can probably do one, maybe one more here. Let's see. Okay, that's good for me. I still got a little bit of a hole left. Could probably do, let me see what one more looks like. Just do it till you can't really do any more. Yeah. Okay. See, I got that little bitty hole left. Now I'm just gonna tie along or cut off a long string. With my long string, I'm just gonna put a yarn needle at the end, and I'm just gonna kind of sew it shut with that. I'm actually hiding my tail and sewing it shut the rest of the way at the same time. Killing two birds with one stone. Okay, that looks good to me. Go ahead and clip your yarn off. Should get that all sewed up on the bottom. And you'll have the main part of your bag done. Now I want to do one more thing here. I want to go around the top here with a row of single crochet. So you just want to start with a slip knot on your hook. And you can start anywhere that you want, right side facing you. And just go into the stitch, go through that slip knot on your hook. Go back into the same stitch you just started in, do a single crochet. And then I'm just going to work my way around, doing one single crochet in every stitch. Just to clean up this top here. And I'm only going to do just this one row of single crochet. So I'm going to do one in every stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into my first single crochet, and then I'll just tie that off. I'm going to put a face on my pumpkin, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to make some, they're not perfect, but some little triangles and a mouth. So for the little eyes and the nose, you're going to need 3 of these little triangles. So what I did for them is I did a chain of 7. And then you want to you want to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then one in each stitch across. And if you know a different way to make a triangle, go ahead. Or you could always use felt too for the face. Okay, when you get to the end, chain 1, turn. Now I'm going to do a single crochet decrease, so I'm going to go into the very first stitch, drop a loop, oops, and then I'm going to have the 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to go in the next stitch, drop a loop, and I'm going to go through all 3 loops. And now I want to do a single crochet again in each stitch until I get to the last 2 stitches. So that's 2 single crochets, and then I'm at the last 2, so I want to do a decrease again. Go in the stitch, drop a loop, and then go in the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3. Chain 1 and turn. Go directly into the first stitch, drop a loop, the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops. Single crochet into the next stitch, the next stitch, drop a loop, and the next stitch will be that turn chain. Go into that and drop a loop, maybe, it's always so tight. And you want to go into the next stitch, drop a loop, and the next stitch is going to be your turn chain. Go into that one and drop a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through all 3. Chain 1, turn, go directly down into the very first stitch, drop a loop, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3. And then they'll be in the next stitch, drop a loop, and then the last stitch is the turn chain, drop a loop, go through all 3, chain 1 and turn, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through all 3. So that's my little triangle. It's real easy. You're going to need to make 3 of them, and like I said, cut your tail a little long too so you can sew it on. If you want to make a different one, go right ahead. It's probably not really the best triangle, but got 3 of them made, the eyes and the nose. I'll set them to the side real quick, and I'm going to work on the mouth. So you want to start with a slip knot on your hook, and you want to do a chain of 4 and slip stitch into the first one to form a ring. We're going to be making, what we're going to do is a half circle like that. Now chain 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet, and you need a total of 6 double crochets. So counting this chain 3, so we're going to have to go through the ring and do 5 more doubles. So counting the chain 3, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 1 more to make 6. 6. Pull that tail real tight. Okay, now what I want to do is a chain 3, and that counts as my first double crochet. Now I want to turn, and I want to go right back into the same stitch and do another double crochet. So that is actually 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Now I want to work along, putting 2 double crochets in each of the 6 stitches. So at the end I should have a total of 12 double crochets. Make sure this last stitch that you go into is your chain 3. Got to make sure you go into that, or it's going to be lopsided. Okay. Now you want to chain 3 again and turn your work. That chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. So now what you want to do is go across and do 2 more double crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to go right back into the same stitch and do another double. And I'm going to do 1 double crochet. 2 double crochets in every stitch. So at the end you should have 24 now. And I apologize for the black. Probably can't see it that well. Oops. Make sure your last stitch is that chain 3. You got to make sure you do 2 double crochets in that so your work isn't lopsided. Okay, let me hold it up in my bag and see if I want to make it any bigger. Let me see. So you just kind of play around with it and see how big you want to make it. Okay, now you want to go ahead and tie off and leave a long tail so you can sew it on with. And we're just going to sew it on with our yarn needle. Same with the eyes and the nose. So just lay your bag out. If you have a front you want to show or front that you like better, just lay it out to the front facing you. And use your yarn needle. And just kind of lay it out to how you want it to be. If you want to pin these on, you can. I kind of just pull the ruffles out of the way. And then my nose. I'm sewed on. I'm just gonna do it just like this. Just go all around it with a few stitches just to hold it on. It's kind of just like you would sew anything on. And you don't want it to be, you don't have to be perfect, because jack-o'-lanterns aren't perfect. They're just cut with a knife. So you want to kind of make it look like a jack-o'-lantern. And once you get it sewed on, just go ahead and move to your next piece until you get all your pieces sewed on. Just like that. So there's one piece sewed on. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing all my pieces. I got all them sewed on. And I'm just going to make a couple quick little things to make it look like he has teeth. I already got one of them sewed on. So I went back to my orange. And I started with a chain of 4. Single crochet in the second stitch, and then each of them, and then just single crochet all the way across again, chain 1 and turn, and then one more time single crochet in. So it's 3 rows of 3 single crochet like that, and then tie off and leave a long tail, and then just sew it on your mouth. Wherever you want to do it. You can make more than 1, 2, or more than 2. You can make however many you want. Kind of make it look like he's missing some teeth, but however many you want to do, and then just sew them on. I got my face sewed on to how I wanted it. And now I'm going to do one more thing. Now this is something that you don't have to do, but I'm going to make it where the top, I have a wire clothes hanger that I previously already cut and made it the same size as my opening. And all I'm going to do is weave it on the inside of these stitches. That way it keeps it open, so you know, gives it better holds it so the kids, when they go trick-or-treating, it stays open. You can just throw the candy in it and don't close up like a regular bag. But all I'm doing is taking it and weaving it behind this row of where we did the 3 double crochets in the very beginning in each stitch. I'm going to weave it. I'm weaving it. And I'm going to do it all the way around. Actually, I think I'm going to take a piece of tape. Look here. And tape the end up. That way it won't snag. It's kind of snagging on me. Like that. And then I'll undo the tape at the end. This is just so I can weave it through a little bit better, because the metal's snagging, but I think it'll work a little better that way. And just take it and weave it through the backs, underneath of these stitches, Well, that tape's not really helping. Okay. Just go along and weave it just like that. And remember, you don't have to do this. It's just something I'm going to do for my kids so their bucket's not collapsing, and at the top they don't have to hold their bucket open the whole time when they're getting candy in it. This will keep it open for them. And I'm just going to weave this all the way around. And then that'll hold that top piece open. Okay, I got that clothes hanger in here. You can kind of see it where I weaved it all the way through. So now it's just the circle at the top, so it'll stay open. Sorry you can't probably really see it that well, but it'll stay open the whole time. And now for the handle, you could do any kind of handle that you want. I have an ice cream bucket handle because I want a stiff handle. Start by I just tied a little knot here at the end of my handle, and I have a long tail to sew it on with. Now if you don't want to do this, you just make a regular handle. I'm going to grab the yarn like that and go through it to start with. Now I'm just going to go back under, grab my yarn and single crochet, back under, grab my yarn, pull it up, single crochet. And I'm just going to keep doing this the whole length of this handle. Just doing single crochet stitches on it. I'm getting caught up on that piece on the end, but it's real easy. You're just crocheting yarn around it, and if you can't get it like this, but you still want to do this, you can just wrap your yarn around it. That's fine too, but I'm just going to do this all the way around until my whole piece is wrapped. So I'm going to go ahead and get it finished. And to the end here, I've been wrapping this up with single crochet. And remember, if you can't get it like this, because it's a little tricky at first, you can always just wrap it with your hand, take a piece of yarn and wrap it. Okay, and then you want to make sure you leave a long tail to sew it on with. And put a knot here at the end so it doesn't come undone. And pull my things, make them all go the same way. And then to sew it on, you'll just sew it on with your yarn needle wherever you want. Make sure you got your face, have your bag facing you. And just sew it on with your needle. I always go grab a few of the stitches on the handle and go in like that. And then back through. That way it stays on nice and tight. And you probably have to do it a few times since it's going to be holding a lot of candy. Go through a few stitches on the handle and then back through the side of your bag. You want to do this on both sides. And I'm going to do this quite a bit, because I don't want it to fall apart on my kids. They'd probably get mad at me if they lost all their candy. And then I wouldn't have no candy to eat either, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish this off camera on both sides. I got my bag done. I'll put a picture up at the end because my desk ain't very big and I don't really have a way to spread it out. But I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And please come check me out on Facebook. You can post all your crochet items on there. Everybody would really like to see them. And until next time, have a good day.